Shit, it's been a minute, huh? Oh, man. I didn't know if I was ever going to do one of these again, but something got up my butt, and I decided that I'd go ahead and do it, so. Let's see. You jump over here and grab Mr. Charlie, get him on the line. Oh, man. I was just getting into my dance, and then you went and answered the phone. I don't know. It's all right. I can hear myself in the background. Click, 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 click. What's up, Charlie? Charlie? Charlie?
No.
You're not talking to me. I can hear you. There. Here we go.
Hold on a minute.
Let's see if I can get Lance added in here. He's messing with his stuff.
Is that working?
I can hear you fine, brother. You just can't hear me for whatever reason. It sounds like your headset's unplugged.
There we go.
Got it?
Yeah, when the phone answers, it answers not on the headphone.
Oh.
So I had to flip through, and since I haven't played with Skype in a couple hundred years, I'm like flip. Okay, there we go.
Gotcha. Well, at least everything's working now. So.
Yes.
I can still hear myself in the background though.
Yeah, let me turn it down. There you go.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Well, okay. So we got where's I have to jump down here and find David. There he is. Doink. And get him at it. Where'd he go? Did I check him? David. There we go. Add. And we'll see if Lance answers. He said he had a huge storm go through and knock out his interweb, so he might not make it. But David's on.
Cool. Hey, Dave.
He said, well, not yet. He hasn't answered yet. He said he's coming on. He said he's coming on. So we'll actually have a show. We'll have 3 people. We'll be able to do some talking back and forth and stuff and, make a show of it. Hey, David.
What's that?
Hey, David.
What's happening?
Oh, man.
Well, nothing much.
How's things going up there in the Great White North? And I'm checking with everybody in the room. How's the audio shit going? It's been a hot minute since I've done all this live crap, so I just want to make sure we're broadcasting live to the interweb and that everybody can hear and everything is 5x5.
So we're not just talking to each other.
Right. Still sounds like your headset's messed up on your phone, Charlie. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, well, that's what we got tonight.
Okay. We're good. I can hear you, so we're all good.
Okay.
How's things up in the Great White North there, David?
Well, it's still pretty warm out.
Oh, hasn't started snowing yet?
Not yet, man.
Oh, that's good.
Soon enough.
Did all the snow melt yet?
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised how fast all that snow melted that we had from last winter.
Hey, man, it all went into the rivers and flooded the shit out of the Midwest. There's still fields in Nebraska that have water standing on them that will never be planted this year. Yeah. David said the sound's good. It looks like there's maybe like 1 or 2 people in the room watching the show. So I guess
see 11 watching on the counter.
No kidding. Well, 3 of us.
I never got an alert sent to me on YouTube.
Probably not. I don't. It's been so long since I've done one of these. They probably almost shut my channel down. So, oh well, whatever. I mean, if they want to listen, they can listen. If not, not. It's like that. This might be one of the last ones I do. Who knows? I said that last time, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So,
I haven't done any in ages, so.
Yeah, it's just getting old, man. Nothing's changing. People are getting dumber. I mean, there's people waking up still, small increments of people waking up to what's actually going on, but it's old hat, man. It's so played out. I'm just tired of it, talking about the same shit every fucking week, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying. And Charlie actually mentioned that. He's like, well, if we come on, man, dude, I don't want to do no doom and gloom show. I want to do something, so we'll try to keep the doom and gloom to a bare minimum tonight.
Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of that going on. It's just, we roll it around, but you go right back to the other channels and you just watch the same thing. It's like, if it bleeds, it leads. That's pretty much it.
And that's the thing, even with all the alternative media sites that I go to and channels that I watch on YouTube and stuff, just trying to keep up on the truth that's going on out there. It seems like every single one of them have all grabbed onto the same fucking headline, and they're all saying the same fucking thing. It's like somebody's handing out notes,
cards. Cards.
So yeah, it's the alternative media is getting almost as old as the mainstream media now, because they just want to cover what's hot topic instead of
what gets them clicks and likes.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody thinks that you owe them a fucking $1 out of your goddamn wallet a month.
I know, only $2 a month on Patreon. You can afford $2 a month on Patreon. Oh yeah.
If I had $1 for every subscriber, I'd be a rich motherfucker. It's like, what? Didn't you do this before you got paid? Weren't you didn't have a YouTube channel before they started paying all the fucking content creators? I'm pretty sure you did, because I know I did. This thing's never been monetized. It never will be monetized. That way, they don't have a fucking say as to what I say, because I don't have any advertisers on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the way. If the truth needs to get out, it needs to get out. I don't owe you $1 a month to tell me some shit that I can find on another fucking website.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the whole Patreon thing and blah, blah, whatever. Well, there's a few more chiming in the room now. MCR3 gots to go. All right, he didn't stay long. Bourbon's out there. What's up, Bourbon? What's up, Rick? What's up, David? David has moved, everybody. David moved up to Colorado where he can be free to do what he wants with his body. And, all kudos, David.
Cool.
All right. Let's. I actually want to do hear what David has to say about some of the shit that's going on around the planet right now, and catch us up on World War III shit. Because it's always hanging over everybody's head. So, David, I'm going to give you the floor for a minute. Did you build a stack of stuff for tonight?
Kind of, I guess. I don't. It's like you said. It's the same thing, man. That's why I stopped doing shows. It's just seems like
you got burned out too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still report all this stuff, but it's just it's the same story. It's just
and nothing changes. You know what I mean?
No.
It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter, because we've been doing this. How long have we been doing this, David? 15 years?
I can go back to old archive videos ago when I did my first shows back in 2008, and pretty much hear the same stuff I got to say today. And
it does, like I said, it doesn't matter who's in office. Clinton, Bush, Cheney, whoever the fuck, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who's in office. It's always going to be the same thing.
I believe that there is a big paradigm shift going on. That's one thing what I do mainly on Twitter now. And you notice, man, there's a shift on there that you can feel with the news that's being talked about. And the powers that be want some kind. They're doing some kind of shift right now, and they're heading toward a war. I firmly believe it.
Yeah, that's
the
thing.
Question is where. That's hard to pinpoint right now, because they got everything just lit up right now.
I was talking to a really good friend of mine earlier today, Tracy. If you're out there listening, hey, what's up? This country, at the point that we're at right now.
China wants a piece of our ass, I'll tell you that much.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So does a lot of other countries, man. But you know how our CIA and our boys go over and start color revolutions in all these foreign countries and shit? It happens all the fucking time. It's been happening since the military-industrial complex got their feet wet, right? This country is prime for something like that to happen from a foreign country. For them to send some intelligence agents in here and to start a color revolution inside this country. We are primed for it because the left hates the right and the right hates the left, and both sides are too fucking stupid to see that they're being played off each other. And you know what I mean? We are ripe for it. Ripe for it.
Well, that's what I think's going on myself.
I do too.
So
it's getting ready to break open here anytime. You talk about that. This story just came out tonight, right when we were coming on the air from ABC 7 out of Los Angeles. They're considering a motion that just came out not to ban the possession of assault weapons. They're going to say no assault weapons within LA city limits.
Dude, you can't. Well, I want to sit here and say you can't do that.
Games and everything, man. But
yeah. There's going to be cops getting shot when they go to confiscate these fucking firearms, man. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yep.
I think that's the big thing to watch over here, man. Is this firearm thing? They're trying to find ways around these red flag laws and banning the possessions of these assault weapons, But like I said, you look at Chicago, they got the strictest gun control policy there is in America, but yet they got one of the highest murder rates. And I know it's
every fucking weekend,
black
dude.
Violence. I understand that, and our government's allowing these poor blacks just to knock each other off. They don't want to intervene in that.
It's every fucking weekend too. It's every weekend. Every weekend,
yep.
More people are shot or killed or both in Chicago than in both of the false flags that happened. Just, so
50 injured in one night the other night. Shot.
They had hospitals, yeah.
Wow.
There was hospitals turning people away. They said, we got no more beds, man. You got to take them somewhere else.
It's a war zone over there in the hood in Chicago.
And that's Rahm Emanuel's
our government
backyard.
is behind that. We're letting them do that. We're probably throwing the weapons on the streets over there.
Yeah, have been for a long time.
Yeah, shit.
I believe we fund all the gangs. I believe that we funnel weapons to the Bloods, the Crips, the MS-13s. I think we give them all weapons myself.
I mean, how do you explain the Islamic training camps in our own country? I mean, go in and get them.
Over 200 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously made to take us down. It's just.
It's because they don't give a shit about us. They give a shit about themselves. They give a shit. It's just like AOC said right to the fucking camera. If you guys won't let us enrich ourselves in the ways that we're used to, then we'll have to find new ways. It's not your fucking job to sit up there and get rich, bitch.
Nope.
Did you see that there's 9 representatives from the state of Minnesota that are now opening an investigation into Ilhan Omar and her tax evasion schemes for marrying whoever the fuck she married? That's going to go good for her, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
That woman, man, how the fuck she ever got elected is beyond me. The same way with Ocasio-Cortez. That just goes to prove that there are dumber people out there than those two. And that's scary.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any place to safely go left in the U.S. or the world if you were to be able to scrape up a bunch of money and go hide. Jesus.
Hide in plain sight. You learned how to do that in the military just like I did. Just become gray. Blend into the background. Don't make waves. Just hide in plain sight. It's easy to do, actually. I mean, you'd be amazed at how easy it is to do.
Well, and I agree. It really is. But it's frustrating to to look at these people every day, and they're not paying attention to what's going on, and they just keep running on the hamster wheel. And it's like, wow, you're going to be in for a real awakening.
It's David and I were talking about this the other day, man. It's amazing to me how much the brainwashing has worked, how much the television programming has worked on people, the whatever. I mean, it's worked. They do.
Oh yeah.
They're like fish with a hook in their mouth. All the media's got to do is pull them one direction, and every fucking buddy goes that way. It's just it's sad. It's so sad. For a country
because it's unnerving to question your own thoughts, and people aren't ready to do that. Where you actually have to strip yourself down mentally and almost start over again, and people are scared of that.
Yeah. and all you have to do is just one little thing that goes against their mode of thinking, you know.
Lose their shit.
Yeah, and they can't even have a discussion about it. They have to lose their shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't even stop and have just a plain adult discussion with you about it because you come from two different points of view. They have to just explode, and then they go home and fucking defriend you from Facebook and, you know, tell everybody, all their friends that you're an ass clown and blah. You know, it's one extreme or the other anymore. People aren't capable of cognitive anything any longer, it seems. And I'm not talking about everybody, so don't all you fucking people in chat get your panties in a bunch. I'm just generalizing, okay? And the fact that there's 320 plus million people in this country, and we have devolved to this mired way of existence is just, oh my God, man. It is so pathetic. It is so pathetic.
It's like a lot of people just live for the sensationalism. It's almost like your house is only made of the drapes and the paint in your house, but nobody's paying attention to the foundation. And I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum. You know, it's like if you just take those basics, you could really live a pretty chilled out life without a lot of stress if you just focus on like Maslow's law of hierarchy. Just focus on those things. Life doesn't have to suck the way these people are making it suck.
No, but the distractions are so prevalent everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was sitting in the DMV today waiting to get a couple of stickers, you know, one for my Harley and one for my jet ski, and just sitting there looking. There was probably 30 people in there, you know, a couple of couples and a couple of families and, you know, a dad with two or three kids with him. Everybody had their goddamn phone out, dude. It was blink, donk, dink, dink, bing, dang, wong, ding, wong. You know, it was. I was just standing there looking. I had my phone in my pocket, you know, but you know, Verizon was out through the entire state of Arkansas, and it's still kind of spotty for 6 hours today, from noon until I just got ready to get in the shower this evening. So, I mean, it was completely out. The only reason that I knew it was out was because I was listening to my scanner. And almost every state trooper in our district was saying, I can't get shit on my phone. What's going on with the phones? Does anybody have a phone that's working? And so I checked mine, and sure enough, it was out. No service. So, and it was on Down Detector, too. The entire state of Arkansas was red.
Wow.
And it was all up the East Coast, too. So I don't know if that's why Lance isn't on, or, you know, I asked him earlier if his phone was working. He said, yeah. But he said his cable was out, so. Yeah, kind of strange, but anyway.
He still has a phone that has a cable on it? That's crazy.
Yeah, interweb. I guess he doesn't have Skype on his phone. He doesn't want Skype on his phone. But that's got to be a lie, because the last 2 shows that he did was from his phone. Because he said the Skype on his computer wasn't working, remember? I remember that.
I think I remember vaguely, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you've been paying attention to this Pakistan-India thing going on?
I've seen a couple of headlines about it. I'm not really paying attention to it because it's half a world away from me, and I really don't give a flying fuck. But go ahead and drop a headline.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to hear about it.
No, I do want to hear about it. I do want to hear about it, and I'm sure there's other people in chat that want to hear about it. So go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Pakistan and India is getting ready to fight over Kashmir. Again.
And they're both nuclear powers, by the way, if anybody
they're both nuclear powers, and this is what makes this, you know, worth a headline, because you know, it's going to be Pakistan today cut off all diplomatic and trade with India today over this, and been reports that they've been having like some fights over the LOC today really bad, already heating up, and that both armies, both navies are on alert. The Pakistan and Navy's out of their port, and they're not sure where they're at right now. And so this could, you know, India, you know, military-wise is bigger than Pakistan. But the deal is Pakistan's got a rule. If they start getting their ass whooped by India, they will resort to nuclear weapons. That's in their book. And so this makes this deadly serious over there. and for the world. And when you got two nuclear nations, no matter who they are, having a battle over something, man, that's something definitely to watch. Not that you can do anything about it, but it's interesting to watch. And both these sides hate each other with a passion.
Yeah, it's like Israel and Palestine.
On a regular day, India has about 800,000 soldiers stationed in Kashmir, on the Indian-controlled side of Kashmir. 800,000 on a regular day. They just been reports of 35 to 180,000 more soldiers there. What India did with Kashmir is they just took it for themselves pretty much and said, they're Muslim-ruled area, and said, you're under our rules now. You're no longer independent.
This is why governments don't need to exist, because they can do shit like that.
They made a law now where Indian people can go into Kashmir and buy land.
Sounds like Israel Palestine.
Yeah, exactly. It really does. This is their version of it.
Yep.
It's a little more serious because the other side's got nuclear weapons too. With Pakistan,
and an air force and an army.
Yeah, this is, and the deal is America, of course, it is in this situation here's back in Pakistan. China's back in Pakistan. And India doesn't give a shit. They came right out and said, we don't care. We're taking this for ours, and if Pakistan's got a problem with it, then they can step up. And so Pakistan's taking the diplomatic route right now. They're going through the UN, which is useless, and it's going to get nowhere. But they also know that they can't take on India head-to-head either.
What's going to happen to all our call centers if India starts getting bombed, man? Won't be able to talk to Billy.
Well, India's a pretty big country. So. Well, like I said, the Pakistani president was just at the White House meeting with Trump in the Oval Office. And then that really kind of upset Prime Minister Modi out of India to see that.
Yep.
And basically, Trump wants to pull out of Afghanistan, and he wants Pakistan basically to watch it.
If anything goes on, you guys, if bombs start falling over there.
Pakistan over Afghanistan by saying, hey, if you want to go after Kashmir, we'll back you too.
If bombs start falling over there, people just grab your phone and start dialing any 800 number that you can remember and tell them to keep themselves safe. Yeah.
What? The bombs are falling on my head. This is Billy. How may I help you?
So, that's something to watch. And then,
my name is Roger.
Yeah, there you go, Roger.
So that's one area right now that's getting pretty destabilized. Another area is Venezuela still. Trump just put a complete economic embargo on them the other day. Basically, we're trying to change a government by starving the population over there.
Color revolution.
Yep, we couldn't get a coup going. We couldn't get the military to break away. So now we're trying to starve the people to get them to rise up.
That's all we're doing with embargoes. That's the only thing that sanctions do is kill innocent people. Stop them from getting the necessities of life that they need. That's all it does. It doesn't hurt the governments because the governments, they hoard everything for themselves if it comes down to it. So, yeah, whatever. It's been proven for the last 100 years that shit doesn't work, but what you can't tell a government anything. It's like talking to a 5-year-old.
Well, what behind Venezuela, you've got Russia and China. They're firmly back Maduro over there. And China came out today just fucking pissed, man. And
because their dollar's going. The yuan or whatever is just crashing against the U.S. dollar.
What did China say today about this Venezuela stuff? It says, an order by U.S. President Donald Trump to freeze the Venezuelan government's assets and cut off its funds is an act of gross interference and a violation of norms of international relations. And it says China says they would continue to cooperate with Venezuela. They will give them food, and if we don't like it, we can do something about it. But the deal is what I'm seeing, Jimmy and Charlie, What I'm seeing after I've been doing this for about 10, 11 years now, maybe 12, close. What I'm seeing now is a huge shift here. And by a huge shift is all of our enemies are lining up on one side against us now.
Yeah.
China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Venezuela, Syria, all of them, they're all lining up against us now. And it's us becoming more isolated. Now, Donald Trump wanted it as an isolationist. He wanted to isolate us from the world, and he's done it, but it's in a bad way now, because if this ever comes down, we're still kicking hornet's nest while trying to be isolated, and you can't do that. You know, the only friends we've got left, if you call them friends, the Brits are still with us, the Aussies are still with us from Australia, and Israel and Saudi. And that's pretty much it.
Britain getting really ready to go down the shitter with the Brexit.
Britain's getting ready to go down the shit, and the only reason why Israel has anything to do is because we give them $10 billion a year. So, of course, they're going to
a lot more than that.
You know, and then the other thing, Saudi Arabia, the dollar for oil, the petrodollar, as long as that's still going, they'll be our friends. As long as they're buying weapons from us, they'll be our friends, and we give them a good deal. And that's it, you know. But like I said, you've got all these other countries now. What I'm seeing, it's just firmly taking a stand against the United States and its shenanigans now. You know, but yet we're still kicking the hornet's nest. We're still threatening Maduro. You know, we're even though Russia, China's.
That's all we got. That's all we got is to run our mouth. That's all we got. You know, we're a fucking
Turkey
paper tiger.
Is making a stand against us. Our own NATO ally that's been going back and forth. You know, Erdogan's been saying, I'm going to run a military operation east of the Euphrates. Well, east of the Euphrates, he wants to clear the Kurds out and create a buffer zone into Syria.
Yeah.
And well, we've got all of our bases over east of the Euphrates. That's where our biggest base is. That's where we've got the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces that we've put together, all Kurds. We've got troops embedded with them. And Erdogan came straight out and said, I'm going to wipe them fuckers out. They're a threat to us. We don't, I don't care if you back them or not, U.S. And we got nervous and we backed down to Erdogan today. And
that's because he stood his ground when it came to the S-400s and shit.
He moved his whole military. He moved thousands of troops up to the border there, ready to go.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows that we're a fucking paper tiger, dude.
Yeah,
everybody
we are,
knows.
And that's what I'm getting at, Jimmy. We are. What's the word I'm looking for here?
All talk, no walk.
All that, but we're rolling over for everybody now. And the question is, the
only thing that Trump hasn't done that Obama did is fucking bend down and kiss the rings. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. That's the only thing. This is when it comes to foreign policy now. I got to stipulate
this foreign policy is horrible.
Yeah.
And the deal is Pompeo comes out. Kim Jong-un's been launching, short-range missiles again for the past, several days. He did it like 2 days in a row. He's done a bunch of them. And Trump's come out and appeased them every time. So, those are all right. As long as they aren't ICBMs, he can launch all these missiles that Kim's launching are all ones that can hit our bases in South Korea.
Yeah, but they probably don't have active warheads on them. You know what I mean? None of this shit works. It's all from the 1950s. Well, I don't know why everybody's getting... Look, man, the North Korean threat, we've talked about this in the past, David. The North Korean threat has been around since you and I were kids, man. I remember these exact same conversations going on the news when we were eating fucking, dinner around the table when I was a kid. North Korea has always been the boogeyman in the background that they pull out of the closet every time they need somebody to pay attention over here and not over here. So when people say North Korea, I just shut the fuck off, man, because number one, I'm not worried about them, and number two, nobody else should be either.
I'm not saying worried about it. I'm saying it's the point of the deal is like Trump crosses over there, a few months ago, steps in there.
Yeah. So they can do a photo op, man.
To me, he looked like an idiot doing it. He looked like that we were basically kissing Kim's ass by stepping over there.
Kim was dressed to the nines, though, brother. He got himself a brand new pantsuit for that occasion, and he had to eat like 5 or 6 extra Hershey bars because he was good and plump that day. He got himself dressed up for that.
I think it's just ridiculous, our foreign policy. And I make no excuses for Trump or his cabinet because they suck when it comes to foreign policy and they weaken.
It's because he surrounded himself with an entire bunch of military shitheads that don't want to do anything but make big holes in other countries. You know,
Well,
plus the fact that he met with Kissinger 7 fucking times in the first year that he was in office.
Kissinger wants a war with China.
Well, I'm just saying, if he'd have brought people into his cabinet that knew more about world politics than a bunch of fucking warmongers, maybe things would be going a little bit different.
Well, look,
but hey,
these guys, the new Secretary of Defense, was it the ex-president, vice president of Boeing or Raytheon?
yeah,
So basically, you got the military-industrial complex running, officially in the White House running our military.
yeah.
This guy
That's what
has
I'm
no
saying.
military experience.
That's why I'm telling people that everybody that thinks that Trump is the fucking savior of this country, you people are just not paying attention. You're only paying attention to what you want to pay attention to.
Trump
You're not
is
getting
handing
big
this
picture
country
shit.
more over to the New World Order right now than anybody I've seen in a long time because, like I said, he just put the military-industrial complex right in charge of our military.
He'll have our military on the streets doing red flag shit.
Yeah.
He's promoting the red flag laws. You know, so all you people that aren't getting what's going on right now, the little douchebags that are reporting your Facebook posts and shit like that are gonna, if they get your address and your phone number or anything, they'll swat your ass. If you guys don't know what swatting is, look it up. All you gotta do is make a phone call to your local PD and go, well, this guy over here, man, he's fucking going off on people and talking crazy on the internet, and I think he's got weapons and blah 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 blah. And the next thing you know, you got 7 people stacking right on your fucking door.
Bunch of those cowards in this country now.
Oh, they're all warriors behind the keyboard. That's about it.
I'll tell you what, though, I've seen a couple of stories in the last few months that said that some of these Antifa douchebags are actually getting weapons and training. So,
Oh, yeah, I've read the stories about that
yeah.
a while back.
So pay attention to what's going down, folks. It's like the old memes that used to go around a decade ago. You know, while you're teaching your kid to appreciate everybody's fucking culture and background, they're teaching their kids how to kill your kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish Lance was here to talk about that trade war going on with China.
Let me go see if I can grab his ass up. Let's see if he's...
I mean, I know a little bit on it, but
Doink. He's still yellow. I'll try to get him added in here. Let's see. Doink. Lance, he's supposed to be listening if he can't add in. So everybody holler at him. Lance, we know your fucking internet's working. Stop lying. And you don't need it anyway. Ask Charlie. He's using his phone. He's not going to answer. If he was going to, he'd have answered. And he'll type something in the room telling us to fuck off or something. So, all right. What else? What do we want to talk about now? You guys want to talk about the Democratic debates?
I didn't even watch them.
Oh, yeah. The Republican
The
ones are
sound
going to
bites were enough.
the Republican ones are going to be just as bad, except they'll all be in English. Probably. I don't think there's going to be anybody spewing shit in Spanish at the Republican debates. The one thing that I found that was very telling about the Democratic Party, not only do they want to give everybody free shit, but there was not one flag to be found at either of those debates on the stage. Not one. Not on the lapels of the motherfuckers that were standing up there. Not one. Not one. That's very telling about that party of people. So that's a good question, David. He asked in the room, how the hell is Kissinger still alive? That fucking guy looked like old news when I was 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's got to be the baby blood drinking, or the sacrifices to Moloch or something. I don't know. Something's keeping him ticking. I don't know. He is a creepy looking old fat motherfucker though.
Jeffrey Epstein's probably sending them young girls.
Hey, that's why these shootings and shit happen, man. Look, 2 days before the first shooting down in El Paso, the headline broke that the FBI was complicit in the wiping of the servers for Clinton and the DNC. They were complicit They knew it was going on. They gave the nod and let it happen. 2 days later, there's a shooting in El Paso. Not to mention the whole Epstein thing, because you know that cat, if justice serves, he's going to bring down, I'm going to guess at the minimum, 1,000 people. If they actually went into his offices and shit and raided his places and got all the logs for the airline, and all, there's going to be 1,000 people that'll go down for him, with him, if justice prevails. And in the end, it does. So there's that. What's our opinion on Storm Area 51? This ought to be good. Charlie, I'll let you launch this one. What's your opinion on Storm Area 51?
I want to get on a high elevated area with my spotting scope and just watch that happen.
With big binoculars and popcorn.
Big binoculars.
Popcorn for days.
Oh my God. Yeah, like the big contractor bags full of popcorn.
Yep. And some thermal vision so you can watch the shit go down at night too.
It'll be like watching a video game, real time.
Yep. It's going to be hilarious if it happens.
It's not going to happen. They're huffing and puffing. It's not going to happen.
Well, hey, you know what? I've read let me get David to toss in on this. Go ahead, David. What's your thoughts on Area 51?
Well, you know, their original page for that got 3 million people saying they wouldn't, and Facebook took it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they put up a second one, and this one's got over, I don't know how many on there already.
The first one started on Reddit. It was actually a post on Reddit that got it all started. And it was started as a lark. It actually was started as a lark, just to see how many people they could get to find. And this is what the whole sheeple mentality is about, man. You know, you put one little thing out there, and the next thing you know, it goes viral because everybody's a fucking sheep.
Well, I mean, remember back in the days, like, what was it, Cabbage Patch Kids, and any season like Christmas time. Look at they pick one item and everybody loses their shit.
Those were toys. That was tangible shit. This is a fucking post on Reddit. There's a big difference. To me, there's a big difference. You know.
Well, yeah, but our reality was physical things. Their reality is what's on their phone.
Yep.
So that's how they get recognized. Instead of walking in with the latest, greatest tennis shoes or crayons like we did when we were kids, now it's look at how cool I am online.
So fucking pathetic.
Oh, it is. It's sad.
Here's the thing. I saw this breakdown a couple weeks back, and it had to do with this Area 51 page. And they said that fully 10% of the people that said they're going to go actually think it's a real event and are going to fucking show up. So if 3 million people said they're going to go and 10% of them don't know it's a joke, that's 300,000 people that are going to show up at this fucking place and probably get killed by our military.
Yeah. Well, at least some of them will. Until they've realized that, hey, you can't respawn.
If they're dumb enough, right, you can't respawn. Yeah. There's no hidden X and escaping out of the page. If they're dumb enough to not know by now that it was a fucking joke and they still show up out there, I'm pretty sure that they're dumb enough to go head-to-head with the military. 300,000 motherfuckers is a lot of motherfuckers. You know that the military ain't going to have near that on the ground out there.
Oh, you don't need that when you got the toys.
That's true. That's true. And it'll be a good playground and testing ground for all their new electronic equipment and shit. Something's
That's what
going
I think. They would use that brain fart.
The sound gun thingy on
where they hit you with the frequencies and deter you.
Yep.
LRAD.
Yeah,
thank
there you go. Something's going on in my other room on the scanner. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I guess that's just the way he leaves us, huh? Okay, I'm gonna throw down a couple cards. What do you got? I got 2 aces and a 6. What do you got? So what's been going on in your world there, Dave?
Not a whole lot.
No.
All better.
Much, you know.
No, we're in a full conversation now, Jimmy. You could just calm down.
All right, I'll just stand by. Go ahead.
We were playing cards.
Okay. Spades.
Spades.
Trump your shit.
Damn it! I hate when that happens.
That's the big joker too, motherfucker. All right.
The clown posse jokers, huh?
Right. What else are we going to talk about? That was the Area 51. What do you guys throw some more shit up in the room and we'll toss it around? That was a pretty good toss around right there. Let's see. What are your thoughts on all these blackouts that keep happening? Do you think the government is behind all the power outages? That's a good one to toss around. David, take that one. Run.
I know we are in other countries.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff that happened down in Venezuela and shit. Yep, that was us.
You never know.
What do you think? I mean, what had happened twice in New York and twice in L.A. too, I think. And then now we got this huge Verizon outage. I mean, you know how dangerous it is around here for the officers to not have phone communication with headquarters or each other? Because in the mountains around here, radio communication is kind of iffy. You know, seriously, even digital radio communication is pretty iffy. And for them to not be able, I mean, like if somebody was down in a river valley or something, and then all of a sudden the phone goes out and they have absolutely zero communication with anybody when they're down there, that's pretty fucking dangerous. Just saying.
Yeah, but a deployment without communication is just a camping trip.
Yep. It'd be like all of our pilots if the global positioning system went out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Flying around blind, ain't got no radar, no GPS coordinate. You know, yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not. Mm-mm. Plus, I pay for the whole fucking month, man. Are they going to reimburse me for the 6 hours that the shit's down? I mean, it's probably still kind of iffy. The last time I checked, I only had one tiny little bar. I only got one tiny little bar. You know, can't send a fucking text halfway across town.
Wow.
Are they going to reimburse us for this shit? All you people that are on Verizon right now, if you're in the midst of this outage and you don't have any services right now, start firing off emails to Verizon or sending tweets out to @Verizon and ask them, are you going to reimburse me for this fucking outage? Because I paid for this time.
We apologize for your inconvenience, sir. We do appreciate your patronage.
You should start doing it for everybody, man. If your cable company sucks, if your insurance company sucks and fails to pay out on a claim or something like that, I mean, just blast the motherfuckers. Put them online and blast the shit out of them. Everybody's got a goddamn Twitter account now. Even Sherwin-Williams Paint. So, you know what I mean? Just fucking blast them. These people need to understand that there are repercussions for your actions, man. You know? There's consequences for everything. And the people have the power. I've been telling you guys this since I got online. There's way more of us than there are of them. That's why the whole Area 51 thing shook them to their fucking core. That's why you saw the DOD tweeting out, y'all really shouldn't show up out here. Because they know it's probably going to fucking happen.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. But, I mean, they know it's probably going to fucking happen. It's probably going to fucking happen. At very minimum, there's going to be 1,000 people that show up.
Yeah.
I would bet my last fucking dollar on it.
Yeah.
Because 90% of this country is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is they don't ask the questions.
They follow.
You know?
They just follow.
Yeah. But did you see that last night in New York City when that motorcycle backfired and all those people were fucking running and trampling each other in Times Square?
That's sheeple, dude. That's the whole sheeple mentality. They
those
have
videos
everybody
are crazy, man. Like, holy shit, people. I mean, I guess if you're in Times Square and you see 100 people running towards you, you're probably going to start running. Then I guess something bad's coming. You know, I can understand it, but that's just crazy.
If you only hear one, well, this is the military coming out in me, but if you only hear one bang, you don't hear repetitive bangs. If you only hear one bang and you don't feel any pain, you're good.
Yeah.
Just don't freak out, man. You know what I mean? Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Just look around, go, what the fuck was that? Like everybody normally would.
They said a lot of people got trampled last night and actually had to go to the hospital. And
Yeah,
shit,
there was
people ran over.
Yeah, there was overhead shots of the square down there, and there was just people shitting themselves trying to get out of the fucking place, man. It was,
of course, most of those people that were running are the ones that talk shit all day long about how they're gonna get theirs and take that on. And it's like, yeah, sure you are. Run, rabbit, run.
Run.
That was your sheep mentality last night, man. That's what it was, just a herd of sheep trampling each other. That's why I don't go to big crowded places like that anymore.
The propagation of fear, too, is just off the charts, man. I mean, every fucking newscast, it's, you know, fear. And that's what they got. 90% of this country, the stupid people, are all living in it every goddamn day. Every goddamn day.
Why you have such a high consumption of antidepressants, because everybody's fucking anxietied at the ass over absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the government controls the people, through fear.
Yep.
And taking of firearms. So don't let either of those things happen to you, folks. I don't even believe in those things. That's just evil. There's people even tweeting from overseas. You know, Italians and Germans, and, you know, they're tweeting from overseas, and they're watching what's going on over here, and they're tweeting people, and they're saying, look, man, let me tell you something from a European, okay? Don't let them take your guns. When they take your guns, they take everything else after that. So don't let it happen. And they do, you know what I mean? As soon as they took the guns, now there's people over in England getting arrested for a tweet or a post on Facebook.
Yep.
It's happening here in this country. In small doses. Been going on for a couple of years, actually. I remember a story we did a couple of years ago, David. I think we did almost a half a show on it. The Marine that got picked up for a post on Facebook, and they took him in.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, it can happen. And his mom recorded the whole fucking thing in the driveway.
Yeah.
That was several years ago now. So,
well, that was part of Trump's little speech the other day at the gun stuff. You know, is he believes that the internet's bringing a lot of this on. They really want stricter controls on the internet now. You know, the video games are bringing on these mass shootings. The internet perpetuating it all is bringing on these mass shootings.
The mass shootings are false flag events, people, and if you don't understand what that means, then you need to educate yourself on what a false flag is. A false flag is not a hoax. A lot of people mistake that with a hoax. A hoax didn't happen. A false flag happens. People die, but they die for a reason, for a political purpose. And it's a staged event. The thing that I can't get through myself and wrap my head around is that the fact that they bring out all the information on these mass shooters and they turn out to be just the opposite of what they think they're going to be, and nobody is the wiser. Nobody picks up on that, and I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
What do you mean when you said the opposite? What do you mean by that?
The media portrays them to be right-wing zealot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
I thought you meant. I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to say
and when they turn out to be a Democrat, registered Democrat, whatever the fuck, nobody speaks a word about it, and they don't ever bring up the fact that I'm going to just go out on a limb and say 100% of the motherfuckers are on some kind of pharmaceutical.
Yep.
They don't ever tie that in. They don't go into their backgrounds or their parents' backgrounds or anything like that unless it feeds their agenda. Yep. When they start to shut up about something that should be big news, that's when you know it's an actual organic event and it didn't go the way the media wanted it to go, so they don't want you to speak about it anymore.
Right.
when they throw it in your face 24/7, and they do it for day after day after day after day, that's when you know it is a false flag event, and they are trying to achieve a political purpose.
They sure do like running their yap, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at Don Lemon.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It's so sad, man. But he, I take this all back to Eric Holder, and when he was in the administration of Obama talking about, and even before he was in the Obama administration, when he was working for the Justice Department, I think they caught him in that one talk where he said, we have to continue to literally brainwash people into thinking differently about weapons and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, you're looking at that. They implemented the brainwashing, and it took hold. And it's fucking so sad, man. The fact that people have no cognitive ability in this country, they don't question authority anymore, is just, man, it makes me want to vomit.
Well, it's because I'm not saying for sure, but my feeling is the whole progressive movement has their ideology and basically like their religion tied to the government, and whatever it is they say is gospel, and these people are following that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And eating it up like spoon full of peanut butter.
Oh yeah. Governments are God. We must follow them. If you speak ill of them, you're part of the problem. You need to be eliminated.
Well, did you see a story that came out the other day saying that now conspiracy theories are going to be considered acts of terrorism?
By the FBI.
There's another edict out that has bumper stickers. Different kinds of bumper stickers. Now that if you have them on your car, will get you pulled over, so that they can give you the what for. Papers, please. Papers, please. What'd you pull me over for, officer? Give me your papers.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything. Get out of the fucking car!
That'll be the next thing.
That's the way it goes, man.
Yep. Somebody yells gun and get your brain splattered all over the asphalt. Well, I thought it was a gun, and nothing happens to them. They all go free. Unbelievable. Sad state of affairs.
Yep. All right. Throw it to you, David. What do you got? I'm waiting for everybody in the room to give me some more topics. So,
the United States just now raised the travel alert level for Hong Kong in light of the protests going on out there. Those people are throwing down. You seen some of those videos out of Hong Kong?
Yeah, the tear gas one. I saw a little bitty clip of the tear gas one when the cops finally started launching tear gas into there.
Yeah,
but I can imagine that there's
sticks in their hands the other day attacked these other group of protesters. They were beating them with these sticks and smashing windows with them. And
I imagine there's a lot of people that are disappearing that nobody's ever going to hear about.
And China keeps threatening and says, "Listen, Hong Kong, you get this under control, or we're coming in to do it."
Yep.
And they mean business too. There'll be another Tiananmen Square up in there.
It's not independent anymore, is it? Wasn't it England? Didn't it used to be England's property, and they gave it back to mainland China or something a few years back?
But China, it's a weird thing. I don't fully understand. I went there in the Navy. It was a great city. It makes New York City look small. It's a huge city.
It's built on a fucking man-made island too. The majority of it.
It's massive, man.
Yeah.
And beautiful place.
It's their business hub for the entire mainland of China. Even back when it was under English control, I think that was still their business hub. That's where all the business took place. Because there wasn't a whole lot of people that went into mainland China. You still to this day, you have to jump through some massive hoops to get a passport to just roam willy-nilly through China and film anything, or you know what I mean, do a documentary or anything. It takes a lot of doing.
I imagine. But anyway, they're having these protests in Hong Kong, and China's been warning them, saying, listen, you need to get this under, telling the Hong Kong authorities and the police there, you get this under control, or we're going to have to, and it ain't going to be pretty. And these protests, though, they're getting bigger and bigger. They've got another one coming up, I think, starting tomorrow or whatever, for like 3 or 4 days at the airports they're going to shut down.
Man.
They've been shutting down the railways, the airports, transportation, anything to economically hurt the place. And China's losing money on it.
And you people realize that they're back to a fucking emperor system, right? I mean, Xi Jinping is in for life.
Yep.
They changed all that, 2 years ago or something, back in 2017 when they changed all that.
Yeah, so he's emperor for life.
He's emperor for life. And it's probably going to do the whole pass it down to the kid thing. I don't know if he's got a kid, but it'll stay in the Ping family for a while, I'm guessing.
Yep. Yeah, and so that's interesting.
Roboting.
What's that? What'd you say, Charlie? We lost Charlie. What'd you say, Charlie?
Said something about a robot and he disappeared.
Uh-oh. Did they get him?
There's a robot in here.
Are you Sarah Connor? Charlie. Oh well, he'll add back in when his shit gets. There he is. Are you back?
Wow, that was really roboting bad. I couldn't understand a word you're saying.
We thought they'd snatched you, man. We thought somebody kicked in the front door and they took you away with a tractor beam or something. That kind of shit happens out there in the mountains where he lives. Strange lights and shit. Oh my God, what the fuck was that? I think we just lost him for good.
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. That was a big...
Now you're coming in loud and clear.
Cool. Must have got the digital hiccup out of the way.
Yeah, what?
Must have got the digital hiccup out of the way.
Yeah, it was...
the interweb was building up a gas bubble.
Yeah, had a gas bubble in it.
Yeah.
Bad.
So I read a story the other day that our newest aircraft carrier, I think it's the Gerald Ford, the $1 billion aircraft carrier, was built with 11 elevators, but they can only get 2 of them to work on there. They can't bring ammunition up to the deck of the ship. They can't put F-35s on it because of this.
How old is the fucking thing?
That sounds like a government job.
It just came out.
It's a brand new ship.
Brand spanking new, our biggest, most expensive carrier, and they can't load F-35s or bring ammo to the deck on it.
Well, it's probably a good thing they can't load F-35s because those things are dangerous. Those planes are fucking dangerous. Yeah, they said 11 elevators on there and only 2 of them work. I can imagine. Probably got all kinds of hydraulic problems and everything's controlled by a main computer hub, and that computer hub doesn't like how everything's wired and blah, 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 blah.
And then they also said the catapult system won't line up with the F-35 either now, so they got to try to fix that where they can launch F-35s off of it.
Well, you want to know why that is because they started that contract 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long contract.
I was going to say
it's a long contract, and they didn't realize they're going to be launching like spaceships.
When was that fucking ship laid down? Back in the 80s? I mean, when did they lay the keel down on that boat? I'll bet it had to be back
1950s is what I'm thinking.
Not the Gerald Ford, dude. He wasn't even.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Damn it. I'm just saying the way government contracts go. They go. Oh, it'll be ready by March, and you got to ask them what year.
Yeah.
Here, I'm looking on Wikipedia here because I want to know this here. So it's a class here built. Let me see here.
There should be a laydown date, which is when they drop the keel and start building it.
Let me see here. Construction. 2005.
No way.
They have construction on the first. Oh, yeah. Began. This is the first vessel of its class.
Oh, okay.
The CVN 78. It began on 11th of August 2005 from Northrop Grumman.
Northrop Grumman.
Yep. So
I didn't know they build ships. I
So
didn't
they
think
didn't have
Grumman built
F-35s even thought about in 2005?
Obviously, they don't build ships.
Yeah, because it ain't functioning worth a fuck. Hey, it floats.
Oh,
At least it floats.
You wanted it to work. Oh, that's another 100 billion.
That's like the F-35, man. How far is that fucking plane over budget? And it still doesn't work. It's just
$1 billion.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. And this is all just the fleecing of the people in this country, because any sane person knows that these prices are completely off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question in the room. It says, what are your thoughts on that Russia sub and American sub incident that went down a while ago? Did you hear about that, Jimmy? Charlie?
Nope.
I heard about it. I didn't hear the follow up on it though.
I didn't hear about
All
it.
I know is they went into some serious meetings pretty quick. That's for sure.
I didn't hear about it. Let me hear about it.
Well, it's was it up by Alaska or something? This Russian sub, or I don't know. It was somewhere up in the Arctic. This Russian sub with all these sailors, nuclear sub, fucking bunch of sailors they caught on fire and started sending out poison and gas inside of it or something like this.
It's like 16 of them, 16 officers.
Oh yeah. I remember this thing went to the bottom and they all died. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I know the sailors. No, they got the sub back to port.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody on board was dead.
Yeah, pretty well. 16 of them were at least.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. I think I remember some headline about this. Go ahead.
You know, and then there were major meetings right after that happened with Russia, and the United States was going into these big emergency meetings, and Russia was, and then it kind of went silent. You know, then there was a story out that our American sub, shot at it or something like that because it was encroaching toward Alaska. And we shot, that was the rumor, which I don't know if I ever believed that. I think if we would have sunk a Russian sub, we'd be at war right now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there'd be a sonar signature somewhere, too, that got captured by somebody.
But it all got swept under the rug real fast, and you didn't hear about it anymore after within a day or so. It all just like disappeared from our media and the Russian media.
Yeah, Putin actually canceled. What did he do? He canceled a trip or something like that over the incident, and it was like right after it happened. So, and they're like, yeah, he doesn't normally cancel trips like that.
And then they turned Pence back around there and brought him back.
Yep.
And then they came out from that, though. They were saying that there was some that Pence would have went to this meeting. He would have shook hands with a big drug dealer and didn't know it. It's a rehabilitation center he was going to, and the head guy there he was supposed to meet up was a drug dealer.
You guys ever watch Pence when he's actually out in public? I mean, have you ever actually watched his body language?
Yeah,
he is the biggest fucking puppet that I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, big one.
He just does exactly what his handlers tell him to do. He's like 90% of this country. He's probably not capable of critical thinking on his own or being able to tie his shoes or, you know what I mean? He's just a fucking puppet. So, yeah.
He's the one that said he can't sit in the room with another woman unless his wife's in there with him.
Oh, yeah. Scared to death that somebody's going to throw a fucking lawsuit at him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a piece of shit.
After the whole Me Too shit, I tell you what, you don't have to be guilty of shit. You could be 5 states over, and they'll just blame you for something, and you're guilty.
But if you're a good person, and everybody knows that you're a good person, you don't have to worry about shit like that. The reason that people worry about shit like that is because they're hiding something. They're hiding something.
Pence is just too, I don't know, man. He bugs me.
He's just a puppet. Dude, you can see it in his eyes. There's no light on in his eyes at all. He's just vacant.
You know, I believe in religion and stuff, but he's so hardcore Christian conservative. It's just too far for me, man.
Yeah, Christianity's idol worship.
No.
Anyway, what else we got to talk about?
What else is there? You know, like I said, this trade war is getting dangerous. You know, the other day, China said they're going to stop importing agriculture products from America, and basically this is going to put a hurting on the farmers, man.
That's probably a pretty good thing on their part. I mean, you know, the shit that we grow over here is just genetically modified garbage anyway. So
it's going to put a hurting on the farmers, man.
Well,
they've already got that one bailout.
Sorry about their luck. I think
we're not going to have much to export anymore anyway. We're going to be hurting for a while.
We're not, you know, how many fields were flooded out through this whole fucking planting season that aren't going to get grown? You know what I mean? That we're going to be sucking hind tit for the next 2 years anyway, just because of the flooding through the Midwest.
Yes.
So, you know, the less they take, the better for us, because that means people here will have food to eat instead of it going on a ship overseas. And what do they do with our produce anyway? Wash it and turn around and sell it back to fucking Walmart?
Yep. This just came out now. It says China has set its yuan midpoint target at 7.0039 per U.S. dollar, lowest since 2008.
I just heard another headline come across your phone or something.
Yep.
Lance, answer your fucking Skype.
You know, this trade war with China is pretty damn serious. So, man, we're gonna be paying a lot here real soon for a lot of stuff.
It's horrible, man.
It is. How are you gonna MAGA when everybody's paying more for produce and products and whatever? You're not gonna MAGA fucking paying higher prices for stuff. That's what I tell Trump supporters. Where's his MAGA at, man? You're not gonna MAGA paying fucking more for toilet paper or a can of fucking beans.
Nope.
You're not. Where's his MAGA at? You know, I'm just obsessed with that lately. You know, when were we great the first time? When did we stop being great? And now they're talking about 2020, we're going to be even greater than we are now, or keep America great. I don't understand this mentality, man. Look at the economy. We're not going to have any kind of MAGA going on with these high prices that are fixing to hit us.
High prices. We've got to build the wall because they took it out of the military's budget, but that's just not free money, right? Because that's the military budget's our fucking money that they steal for the military. So, you know, and that's what we were saying at the beginning of the show. You know, all you people that think that Trump is going to fucking save the universe, you're not looking at the big picture, man. Just because he got you a fucking raise for $15 an hour because you're flipping burgers at a fucking fast food joint, that whatever. You know, big picture think. Look at what's actually going on. You know, try going to some different websites and look at how many businesses are fucking closing their doors and laying people off, and because that ain't stopped just because Trump got into office. That shit ain't stopped. You know, Google is putting little companies out of business daily.
Well, the corporations have completely and absolutely taken us over.
Yeah, Amazon. That's what I'm talking about. Google. When I say Google, that's Eric Schmidt. He owns every fucking thing out there, just like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and whoever the fuck else you want to throw in the pot. You people just don't big picture think, man. Whatever. It's the NIMBY attitude has rolled over to the millennials. As long as it's not happening in my backyard, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen in your backyard, and you ain't gonna know a goddamn thing about what to do about it. You'll pick up your phone and try to dial 911, and they'll go, "Fuck you."
Jazzy hands.
Yeah. Don't say anything that offends me when you break into my home.
Oh God. Oh.
You know, I just don't get the whole mentality, this whole MAGA mentality, and it just look around, people, get your head out of your asses.
You're trying to tell that to people that probably can't even change the tire on their fucking car, though. You know what I mean? So it's what did my dad used to say when I was a little kid and I wouldn't listen to him? In one ear and out the other. In one ear and out the other. There's nothing in between there to stop that shit, is there?
And I understand what people are saying. Well, was I supposed to vote for Hillary? Well, no, we were set up, is what I'm saying. We were going to get screwed either way. That's just the way our political system is these days.
Yeah.
Republicans and Democrats all work together. I don't care what anybody says. They do work together.
Mark Twain said it back in the day, man. If voting made a difference, they would not let you do it.
Correct.
Why do you think there's only two fucking parties? Why has anybody ever even tried to analyze that? Why do you think there's only two fucking parties? Why do you think that the Green Party and the anarchists or whoever the fuck else out there, the Pastafarians, the whoever the fuck, why do you think they don't get any traction? All you hear is Republicans and Democrats.
The illusion of choice.
The illusion of choice, and they are both controlled by the same motherfuckers.
Right.
The Green Party, they're not controlled by nobody. You know what I mean? They're out there trying to save the planet and hug a tree.
Yeah.
The Republicans and Democrats, it's all the same.
Yep.
Red and blue make purple, people. And the purple is what controls everything. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the color of royalty. And those are the people over in London that control all the fucking money over here. Because that's where all of the banks that own the Federal Reserve are based.
We're talking conspiracy theory here. We better watch it now. We're breaking the law.
I'm going to get demonetized.
I mean, it's really, it's just crazy the way things are becoming now, where you can't even fucking have a talk about the Fed without being considered a conspiracy theorist and being arrested.
Well, it's because they're running out of things to nail people for. They can only push so far, so now they're going to take. It's almost like saying, okay, we're going to tax you for breathing, which that's carbon tax, so that's coming. So yeah, they just total imprisonment.
Yep. BG 1968 heard the cattle farmers took their cattle to sell mainly because they had no hay and can't afford to buy it. So they're saying prices will soar come November, December. Yeah, most of the hay that they were going to feed their cattle through the year got donated to the ones that were trying to keep their cattle alive during the floods. So, yeah. And plus, a lot of the hay fields are still underwater, so there's not a whole lot to go around. And, yeah, I mean, it's just hand over fist, man. This is why you should grow your own food. You should hunt your own meat. Not just the fact that, it's good exercise and what the fuck you're eating, but that way you won't be dependent on big agriculture or big business or big anything.
Yeah, well, if this cuts loose, that's going to be hunted out and fished out in no time flat. That's not you don't know what you're saying, dude. Because how many people do you think actually know how to hunt? Oh, you know what I'm saying? That happened back during the Depression. They hunted a lot of stuff almost to extinction.
Really?
Yeah.
Pull me up a story. What animal? What animal have you heard? I know that the bison went extinct because they shot the bison to death because they wanted to take away that means of living from the Indians, because the Indians were the ones that were doing the fur trade, and then we just came over here and took that over. So. But I think that's about the only one. I mean, there's fucking white-tailed deer from here to anywhere you want to go. There's black-tailed deer all over down in Texas. There's, you name it. You name it. There's all kinds of food. And it doesn't have to be necessarily, there's fish in the water. There's birds. It doesn't have to be deer all the time or, So... And I'm just thinking, the what I'm saying is that the number of people that are left to hunt and fish and grow their own food and whatever is going to be very few of us anyway. Because all
you mean like after the purge portion?
Yeah, because all these city dwelling fucks, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, dude. So there you go.
I got a story for you guys here when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I want to get y'all's opinion on this. Says man charged with assaulting 13-year-old who didn't remove hat during national anthem.
He fractured this fucking kid's skull, man.
Yeah, he picked him up and slammed him down at the
I hope that they let the father of that child beat his ass to within an inch of his life. What a piece of shit of a human being. Go ahead.
Wait a minute, say that again. What did he do?
He didn't take his hat off during the national anthem.
A 13-year-old.
13-year-old, and the guy picked him up, slammed him down on his head, cracked his skull open, and The man said the boy was disrespecting the national anthem, so he had every right to do that.
That's insanity.
Yep.
The parents of the child said he was hospitalized and bleeding from his ear for hours after the incident left him with temporal skull fractures. And, and this goes, and I'm not blaming Trump. I'm not. But I'm sure this guy did support him, and I'm sure this is where he got from people kneeling and everything during the national anthem. And this is what happened.
Everybody say hi to Angus.
Hi, Angus.
It's horrible, man.
Come on, let's go.
It's horrible this country's come down to this.
Come on, TDs. Come on.
That's unacceptable.
A kid was 13 years old. Yeah, he had his hat on, but I ain't going to be picking him up and slamming him down on his head, People are losing their fucking minds.
Well, they're all reacting emotionally, I think, is what it is. They're not thinking rationally, and they're acting emotionally, and it'll make you do stupid shit.
Yeah.
The way I see it, if some black football player wants to kneel during the national anthem or whatever, that's their business. It's not mine. I could give a fuck what they're doing personally. That's just me. And I served, I love this country, and I served in the military along with y'all. It does. If a person wants to do, I tell you what gets me the worst is burning the flag. Now that irritates me a bit. But if someone wants to kneel during the national anthem or to not keep their hat on, I'm not going to raise holy hell about it. I could really care less.
Right.
But the Supreme Court said it's okay to burn the flag, man. They said you can stand on it, you can piss on it, you can shit on it, you can wipe your ass with it. The Supreme Court said that all that's freedom of expression.
I understand your hardcore veterans maybe that, lost maybe a family member overseas, or if he was wounded. I could understand some feelings like that, and I get that. But at the end of the day, some black football player kneeling during the national anthem isn't hurting you one bit.
The thing that makes me respect the flag has nothing to do with this country whatsoever. The thing that makes me respect the flag is because a lot of my friends came home underneath one. That's why I respect the flag.
I respect the flag. I'm proud to be American, and I feel bad even bitching about it at times. We've got our issues here, but there's no other country I'd rather be. If there was, I'd be there right now.
Right.
And so, obviously, I love this place enough to be here right now, and I don't have a right to complain about anything. In the 53 years I've been in this country, born and raised here, I haven't been fucking demonized with anything, and I know people have done stupid shit in this country, but at the end of the day, when you get to be my age, you realize who gives a fuck what this dude's doing. As long as it ain't affecting me, hurting me physically or whatever, I can give a shit. Personally, you want to sit there and do what you want to the flag, that's on you. It isn't affecting me one bit.
There's consequences for your actions, man, and karma's going to visit your ass if if you go out and make a dumbass out of yourself doing something that you think is a political statement. Karma's going to get you. Especially with the internet,
one day you're going to run into somebody that it does offend, and they're going to flatten you.
Yep.
But personally, when it comes just to me, that's just my seeing it. I guess I'm not a liberal either. I'm not. And it's just, you want to sit there and protest and do shit, that's on you, man. And if it ain't affecting me, now when you go out and fucking riot and loot and smash and store windows, yeah, that's my tax money you're fucking with now. But other than that, do what you got to do, man, if it makes you feel good. But one day you're going to meet a motherfucker that's going to rip your head off.
Right. Because every dog's got their day. Anybody that starts a riot and they're anywhere near their own hometown is just a dumb shit anyway, man. I mean, you're tearing up your own fucking community, man.
I've never got that. Why burn your own shit down?
And protesting don't do a goddamn thing anyway. It don't do nothing. It gets you some headlines and some fucking airtime on CNN or whatever, but in the long run, it don't change a fucking thing.
Nope.
Because the politicians are still the politicians.
This is just a dumbing down of American people who are just fucking losing their minds over fucking right or left.
Yeah, I don't remember who posted it in the room a little bit ago, but this is Idiocracy live, man. We're watching the fucking movie live.
Yep.
You know,
Well, I think we have a culture that everybody is so fucking important that, you know, when they speak, it's like the world needs to listen. It's like, no, guess what? Each one of us is just a stepping stone from the generation behind us, and we need to start thinking long range instead of this short range shit that's getting people. Well, policies and our economy, all that stuff is going to shit because people's feelings, you know, and the politicians just kowtow to it, and it's going to tear us apart.
Even the ones that are halfway awake now, though, don't pay attention to anything past their fucking phone.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They just don't. Even the one they'll post a fucking smart meme or something every once in a while, and you're like, hey man, maybe the cat's waking up, and then you see their food. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. Their attention span is still a goldfish. They'll wake up to one thing out of the big picture. You know what I mean? Like pointing out chemtrails, you can get people to wake up to chemtrails. Pointing out pollution in the fucking water, you can get people to pay attention to the pollution, or, you know, whatever. But they don't. They'll stay focused on that one little thing. They won't let it expand. That's how narrow-minded people have become. And it's the me. It's not the Me Too generation. You know, they do the hashtag Me Too, whatever. But it's the me generation now. It's all about me. It's all about me. How many likes did I get today on my fucking posts on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or what? You know, how many followers do I have? How many friends do I have? Now I want to make friends with the next door number on my fucking phone. What the fuck are you people doing, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you people doing?
I know. I guess I'll look at it. You know, shit's a changing, that's for sure. But I look at it as I've got maybe 30 years left on this rock, and then I'll be in my happy place. I guess. I don't know. You know, it's. I think my biggest thing right now is I want to. You know, when I die, I want to die by my own means. I don't want to die by the hands of some idiot. You know, out there believing this stupid shit that's being thrown around in this country anymore. You know, it's just the way I see it, man. If I'm going to die, let me die my own way and not by the hand of some dumbass that's running around out here believing all this stupid shit.
Thomas Mullins said the First Amendment only guarantees that the government cannot pass a law prohibiting free speech. It does not guarantee free speech or grant rights to spouting your opinion. I'll hold my opinion on that. I'll throw that around the room. David, you want to?
Well, he followed up with the entitled generation. I think he was
commenting on all of us talking about them, though.
Oh, okay.
I know I said something on Twitter the other day that set some people off. You know, I said that shooter over there in El Paso, since they got him alive, that they should fucking torture him a little bit and string him up live on TV.
They didn't tackle him when they arrested him. They didn't tackle him and fucking put their knee in his back and beat his head into the fucking ground and tell him to submit.
Yeah, you get taken down harder on a traffic stop than that guy did.
And I said,
that's because he posed a threat. He posed an actual threat to them, and they were scared of his motherfucking ass. That's why they didn't beat the shit out of him. He wasn't just some Joe Schmo driving down the road eating a donut.
They should do some street justice on this 21-year-old punk. And actually had someone come at me, this constitutionalist guy, and said, you know, dude, the Eighth Amendment protects this dude, and he deserves it. And I'm like, what? This dude fucking shot a fucking two-month-old baby in the fucking head.
I want to get him in a room alone and ask him who told him to do what he did.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
But he was dumb enough to do it, so he deserves the punishment.
Oh, absolutely. But I want to know who's behind it.
Well, what gets me is what right? You do something like that, fuck your right. I'm sorry. I believe in the Constitution, but you do something like that, fuck your rights, man. You're getting fucking hung in the town square.
Yep.
This is why we've got so many people on goddamn death row in this country and got the overpopulation of the prisons, mainly from small-time offenders that should be let out. But we've got guys that have been on death row for goddamn 30 fucking years.
Criminals got more rights than the people that they beat the shit out of, man.
Fuck that. You know, if this guy who did this shooting in Saudi Arabia, he'd been beheaded already.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I believe
the parents would have beat
capital punishment.
The parents would have beat him to death out in the middle of the fucking parking lot the day it happened.
Yeah. You know, and the deal is for somebody to come out and say, "Oh, this guy's got the Eighth Amendment, and you know he deserves the Eighth Amendment, and he deserves that." And I'm like, "Fuck you, man! This dude fucking deserves to be fucking executed."
Yep.
You know, our Constitution's great. Don't get me wrong, and you do deserve your rights. Don't get me wrong, but it's just when you see something like this, and it's like, fuck having a trial for this cocksucker. Get rid of him. But make them suffer a little bit first. You know, you listen to one that I witnessed, one of them that was in the hospital, talking about how this guy walked into the bank part of Walmart and shot this little girl point blank in the goddamn head.
Yeah.
With no fucking remorse whatsoever.
There's still a lot of hinky shit coming out about this whole El Paso shooting, so I'm going to kind of reserve my opinion. I mean, you know, any mass shooter in general. The thing I find funny is that the majority of the mass shootings happen here in the United States, and that tells you a lot about our culture, if you want to put it that way. But I'm still gonna reserve any of my forthcomings about this shooter until some more information drops, because the first thing that caught me was that the social media pictures that they put out of this cat. And the one of him coming through the door at Walmart with the AK and the earmuffs.
Two separate pictures.
They're two separate people.
Yeah, two separate people.
Yeah. So,
you know,
and the fact that the guy that came in the door.
Happened, I was on Twitter.
The guy that came in the door, hang on a second, I still got one more. The guy that came in the door had on cargo pants, and the guy that they arrested and was standing outside with his handcuffs on only had khakis on.
Yep, exactly.
So... yeah, there's just some hinky shit going on about this, and that when I first saw those two things, that's an immediate false flag, dude. It's a false flag. I don't deny that anybody got shot up in that fucking place, but I deny what the media is telling us about what happened.
This one lady, this Hispanic lady, all she spoke was Spanish, and her daughter spoke Spanish and English. She was a younger girl with her. She's probably about 13, 14, and this woman was getting interviewed. This was live. I was watching it on Twitter on this one site I found, and they were interviewing an American, press guy was interviewing her there in El Paso. He spoke English and Spanish, and he asked her what she saw, and she said, "I seen 3 to 4 guys come in covered in black masks, black shirts, black." She says, and her daughter said the same thing. She said there was 3 to 4 shooters, and this is right when it happened. She said there was 3 to 4 of them. We hit the floor. Yeah. This is what the lady said live on fucking TV.
And you'll never find that on YouTube. You'll never find that on YouTube. And you might be able to dig it up on the Wayback Machine. You know, you might be able to dig it up on the Wayback Machine, but if their scrubbing ability is what I think it is now, it's gone forever.
Oh, yeah. And she said there was 3 to 4 shooters. They were right up close by the cash registers, they said.
Oh, yeah. It sounded like a tactical assault when you heard them tell you how many deaths there are. You know what I mean? Yeah. How many confirmed kills there were. And if it was fluctuating up and down, the fucking people on the radio. I listened to a lot of the tape recordings of the broadcast, the police broadcast, the radio traffic. Yeah, it was just, the whole thing just stinks. It stinks so bad. And the fact that they're killing innocent people to achieve a political goal, that's just off the charts evil.
It's heinous.
They're still not saying why this dude drove all the way from northeast of Dallas all the way to El Paso to do this.
It's evil, man. It's evil.
How would you drive when you're in Dallas? Why are you going to drive to El Paso? I mean, according to his manifesto, he hated Hispanics. But I mean,
how many Hispanics are there in Dallas?
He got lost in the neighborhood, so he stopped into Walmart to get something to eat. And that's all they're saying.
I'll be right back.
So my whole question is, that's like a 6-hour fucking drive. You're going to drive all the way to El Paso just to kill a bunch of Mexicans when you could do it right there in Dallas or Fort Worth or... That makes no sense.
Well, like Jim was saying, there's still a lot to whittle down, but it's none of these really make a lot of sense in the beginning. I mean, well, the whole act itself doesn't make sense right off the top.
No.
Why? You know,
how can you be so just so full of hate? That's my biggest thing, to go in and kill innocent people like this. And it ain't just a one-off thing. This is happening every other day.
I mean, it happened twice in one day.
There has to be a factory putting out these fucking shooters.
Go read about Operation
MK
Mind
Ultra.
Control, man. MK Ultra, Operation
Yeah, I believe
Monarch.
it. I also believe that we're living a simulation.
Oh, no. This ain't no simulation, dude.
I think we are. I
No,
think we're
there's-
living a simulation.
There's too many random things happening. There's too many random things. This ain't no simulation, dude. They don't have that kind of control. They don't have
Well,
that
this
kind of
is-
control.
It's like that damn Jim Carrey movie.
No. It feels
I
like
just
it.
don't understand
I mean,
as a
it does
person
feel
that would
like
be
it.
so full of hate to do something like
They control a lot of people around you. That's for fucking sure. Because the
that. Well, that's what I mean
brainwashing,
by simulation.
yeah, the brainwashing is just out of control, man. I mean, it's out of control. Just listen to the Democrats talk, or some of these SJW fucking lunatics, man, and you know that the brainwashing is complete with those
yeah,
motherfuckers.
it's jaw dropping.
Yes.
What comes out of their mouth?
Yes.
I have to go back and listen to it again just to make sure I caught every single word, because I'm like, you said that live on TV, and it's like, what?
And- You didn't even flinch when it came out of your mouth, man. How did you say that shit with a straight face, dude? I'd be rolling on the floor laughing, you know. But that's what makes it so scary, is that
Yes,
they
yes.
believe it. They
Yes.
believe in their hearts what they're saying. That's
Yeah.
what makes it so scary,
Yeah.
and that's how you know that the brainwashing is just total. It's total with those people. And
But watching like Ocasio-Cortez just go off like about the Green New Deal and all that, I mean, you just sit there in awe at how they can spew that with such passion, and you're like, you do know you're fucking crazy, right?
no, they are that detached from reality that they don't
Right.
know.
No, I agree.
They don't know. So, yeah. And it makes you wonder, how the fuck did they get this far in life with that
Yes.
kind of, with that kind of mentality? How in the fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah. I could injure myself mentally if I tried to hammer that out. So I'm not going to put any more thought into it tonight at all. Period. Ever. Thomas Mullen says the truth will never be known. That's not true. That's not true. The truth will be known. Maybe we're not going to be around when it comes around, because they might be able to sweep it under the rug for decades more, but the truth will always come to light.
We still haven't got the truth for 9/11.
Oh, that's not true either, dude. The truth's out there on 9/11. It's just that
I'm
the
saying we
official
know
story, the official story doesn't match the truth, but the truth
There's
is
still
already
a lot
out
of people that believe the official story.
there. Well, what they believe and what the truth is always two different things, dude. Always, and it always will be. The people that really believe the actual truth of any given subject is minuscule compared to the people that believe the bullshit.
There's still people that believe we went to the moon.
Yeah. There's people that believe that we're spinning through space at 666,000 miles an hour around a fucking big iron ball. It's whatever. No, we're not even going to go into the flat earth thing because that'll turn people off quick. Let's see. Brainwashing is real, Thomas says. My 16-year marriage is being ended because my wife is now gay. You cannot make this stuff up.
What?
He said the brainwashing is real. My 16-year marriage is being ended because my wife is now gay. You cannot make this stuff up.
That sucks, man. Sucks to hear that.
That's yeah. I would be willing to bet, Thomas, that she's a social justice warrior too. Yeah, I'm guessing that she's attended the marches for the fucking flag, the rainbow flag or whatever. I'll bet she has a pussy hat. I don't know.
Colored hair.
Yeah.
Purple hair.
Probably,
red
yeah,
hair,
probably
green hair.
rainbow hair, maybe even. Yeah, just, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. But I do got to tell you that someone that's that mentally defective is no good for you anyway. So this is probably the best thing that's happened to you ever. Ever. Just if you have children, keep them away from her at all costs. At all costs. You know, I would venture to say that you would probably be able to find her mentally deficient enough to be able to take the kids from her. Just a thought. The agenda. Yeah. They can, I'm telling you what, man, the mental midgets that are out there, they can be swayed by a meme. And Reddit is the very proof of that shit. Because that's how the whole Area 51 thing started. It started as a fucking meme on Reddit. And 3 million motherfuckers signed on to it. So, you know, that it just depends on how, you know, how thick is your gray matter. Do you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear? Because if you don't, you're going to fall in like everybody else. You just need to be in this world and not of this world. If you're of this world, you're doomed. He says here in Seattle, colored hair, etc. Yeah, Seattle. Oh my God, dude. That is a liberal shithole. So is Portland, Oregon. Yeah, so is Portland, Oregon. And yeah, those are just, ugh. I got some friends that live in Oregon, and I watched some of the posts that they put up that Kate Brown, oh my God, that woman needs to be strung up. Let's see, Ricky says, Ohio shooting, people were running in fear for their lives. El Paso shooting, they were walking out of Walmart in a single file line with their hands up in the air. Yeah, I saw. I didn't see any clips from the El Paso thing. You know, I just that immediately screamed false flag to me, so I didn't really watch it too much. I did see a couple of clips of the Ohio thing. Some yard cameras from some people's front yards or whatever that were looking out on the street, and you saw this crowd of people rush by the camera, and the people that were sitting in front of the camera or whatever, they turned around and ran inside or whatever, and then you saw the cops running up the street with their guns drawn. So yeah, I think that one was pretty organic. That was something, I don't know.
Did you see the, I watched that clip a couple times when it shows that he got shot and he kind of curled into a ball. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this was a camera angle from somebody's front porch looking out on the street. You could see their yard, you know, just a little bitty piece of yard or whatever. And it was looking like right at an intersection. It was like a house security camera. And
it kind of looked like that too, but the cops shot him and he kind of rolls into a ball at the lower left-hand corner. Anyway, if you look, you can see some of the material from the vest that he had on floating in the air.
Really?
Oh yeah. Look at it again, and you'll see it kind of. You see him kind of drift, and then all of a sudden, like it looks like a couple pieces of cotton drift down because I guess the vest he had on was for pistols, not for rifles.
You need to.
He got hit by a rifle.
You need to send me that clip.
Okay.
It doesn't have to happen right now because I'm probably not going to put it up on here or whatever.
No. I just got. I find it though.
Ricky says, if I was shopping and someone was shooting up a store as I was shopping, I sure as hell would not be walking out with my hands up. But in this day and age, dude, you might get smoked by the fucking cops if they're already in the parking lot. You know what I mean? So, low crawl as fast as you fucking possibly can out the front door and the nearest possible exit. I don't go out in public like that anymore. I don't live around locations where shit like this happens. The town that I live near is less than 15,000 people. So, You know, that kind of shit just doesn't happen around here. I just saw a post on Facebook that the local PD, the city PD, just bought a bulletproof vest for their dog, and I was like, when was the last time somebody took a shot at the fucking dog? I don't ever remember anybody taking a shot at the dog since I've lived here in the last 6 years. I don't think anybody's ever even been attacked by the fucking dog. I don't get, they're going to spend money on that when it's, just whatever. Hopefully the money was donated by some dumbass that thought the dog needed a vest, and taxpayer money didn't go to that. I hope for the townsfolk that that's the case, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'll bet the dog's the only one that actually earns his fucking pay around Mountain Home, because this town, fuck. That's all I can say, man. It's fuck. Just in the 6 years that I've been here, fuck. Whatever.
Well, I see the video you're seeing where the bicycle's in the corner. That this is a different. I gotta find that other clip.
Yeah, the one you can see this big rush of people go by. It's probably like 30 people running by.
And then you see the cops shooting.
And then the cops, they come around the corner and start running toward the fucking location.
The clip that I saw was like almost what it looked like is it was maybe 50 feet further down the street than where the cops are coming from in that video. I gotta find that damn thing.
They said he was just like standing at the entrance of this place popping people, yeah? I mean, his girlfriend was the first one he shot, right? And then then he shot his best friend. Yeah, and then he just started capping fucking people at the door as they were coming to go into the place. I don't know. I didn't read on that one either. I was like, wow, it happened within 24 hours of the last one. Maybe they're ramping shit up. But I think the one in Ohio was actually organic. But the Dems are going to jump all over it, man. Oh my God, you got to ban every gun fucking made.
Yeah.
In California, what the fuck is wrong with you? A background check to buy a box of ammunition? Are you fucking people stupid?
Yeah. Whatever it takes to fuck us over. Oh. I think I found it.
Uh-oh, he found it. We're still not going to play it on the air tonight. So
No, I know.
All right, David, we got about 15 minutes left, man. You got anything to come across your live wire over there? We almost made it through the whole show.
Wasn't really
impressive. Okay. You guys got anything you want us to talk about? Anybody in chat? One last hurrah before we end the show tonight. One topic that you guys want to
see that video of those guys reeling in that shark the other day off North Carolina, and they got the shark into the boat, and the thing turned around and bit this dude on the leg and was latched onto his leg and everything?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, that was crazy. Dude's screaming. He's out. These four buddies or five guys are all out on this boat fishing, deep sea fishing, up to Cape Hatteras, I think, North Carolina. And they pulled in a shark. And they were pulling it in. First of all, I wouldn't be pulling in no goddamn shark, and they were in a pretty small boat too. I'm like, especially with 4 or 5 guys in it, I wouldn't be pulling in no shark. But anyway, they pulled it in, and they got it over the inside of the boat. And I don't know if they got it off the hook or it fell off the hook, but it fell down. And this guy had his leg out, and you can see it because this one guy was in the back videotaping them pulling the shark in. And
how big was the shark now?
The shark fell. It was a pretty big, good-sized shark, and it thing came off, and it latched onto this dude's leg, and the guy's probably in his late 50s, early 60s. I think dude was just screaming top his lungs, "It's got me! It's got me!" And fucking, they finally get it off after about 30 seconds, and the thing was chomping on his leg. You know how sharks are; they just don't grab on; they chomp.
Yep.
And so it got him to the bone, and it shows the guy, he falls back, and blood's pouring out of the side of his leg. Well, his buddy comes up and says, this is going to hurt, dude, but I got to pour this bleach down your leg to fucking disinfect. And So he pours this bleach down, like the guy almost passes out.
I bet.
Crap your
And
pants.
they ended up getting him to the hospital. I guess, it was a serious spot in his leg. He lived, but it was the craziest, most intense video I've ever seen.
Now,
man.
was the shark like this big? I mean, was it 3 feet long? Was it half the size of a
probably
guy?
about a 3-footer, 4-footer.
Okay. It's a good sized shark, but it's not a good sized shark. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a great white.
Right,
It wasn't Jaws, but it was a big enough shark to do some damage.
Right, but I'm thinking of the size of the mouth. You know what I mean?
It may have been bigger, it may even been 6. It was a good sized shark. It wasn't the biggest I've ever seen, but it was good size.
If it's as big as the guy it bites, the guy that it bites usually ain't gonna live.
No, it wasn't that big. Yeah. It was probably, I'd say most was 6. 4 to 6, I'd say.
Yeah. Send me
Maybe
that video.
Smaller than that, probably closer. I'd say probably between 4, probably closer to 4.5, something like that. It was big enough to do some damage.
Send me that video. Is it on your Facebook wall?
Yeah. If you want to scroll this from a couple days ago, you'd have to scroll. I don't know how far back to find it.
All right. I might.
Dave, did you? Speaking of water and boats and stuff, did you see that? Did you catch that post that Jimmy put on his Facebook about that boat coming into shore?
Oh my God! The big fucking the big cruiser, the big ocean liner.
Yeah, that was a video of Jimmy pulling in his boat the first part of this year.
Here, I found that one. I'll put the link in the chat room.
Dude, that boat did not
scary.
stop until it hit the fucking earth.
Yeah.
It just pushed that little.
There's the link of it in the chat room.
Oh, right on. Man, what the fuck is going on with these scanner frequencies tonight? I'll be right back.
All right.
It was a 5-foot long black tip shark.
Wow. It doesn't matter if it's short or long or whatever, but getting teeth in your leg, it's gonna suck.
Like I said, they chomp. They just don't latch on and stay there. They chomp. It was hitting that bone big time in his leg. It was his lower part of his leg too, right above his on his calf area. It may even got the front right where your thinnest skin is to your bone, so it got to this fucking bone. Then when that dude poured that bleach on there, you have to check that video out, Charlie. When that dude you can just feel the pain running through that guy.
Ugh.
I actually grabbed my leg watching that video because it started fucking hurting.
That's horrible. Horrible.
That's what you get fucking with Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm. I said it was a 5-foot long black tip shark.
A 5-foot long black tip shark. That's a pretty good sized shark, man. And black tips are very aggressive. They're very aggressive. So, and especially if you got a great big fucking 10 gauge hook hanging out of your mouth. I mean, that probably pissed him off even worse.
A little irritated.
Yep.
Yeah. Well.
And jerked him out of the water and, all that shit.
Yeah, you pulled him out.
You hurt his feelings.
Right. And he turned around and said, "Fuck your selfie."
Well, it's like my wife said, you're dumb enough to pull a shark in your boat like that, and you're dumb enough to get bit.
Right.
I mean, can you eat shark? Is shark meat good? You ever had it?
Oh, yeah.
I've had it.
I like it.
I don't think I've ever had shark.
Like the one we ate was a mako.
Is it tough?
No, actually it's not. It's pretty flaky like tuna.
Yeah.
There are only certain sharks you can eat. Like, can you eat a great white? And
yeah, you can pretty much eat them. I mean, if you're into shark meat, I reckon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out of my way to order a shark off a menu or anything like that, but it was just kind of, it wasn't a dare. It was kind of like, hey, there's some shark there. You want to try it? And I was like, okay. So I tried a little
I've
bit.
eaten octopus. I
Same
didn't
way
care
as
too much
rattlesnake.
for that.
Yeah, I can't do that. Calamari, eating squid, calamari. Ugh, nah.
Yeah.
Worked at a restaurant, served that shit, man.
I can eat raw oysters out of the shell.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Kind of slimy going down, but
No way.
Well, it's like there you go. I mean, there you go. There's your oysters right
as
there.
long as I got like lemon and pepper and shit to put on there.
I just can't stand hearing people suck them out of the shell, man. That just
A
makes
little
me
bit of
want to fucking
gasoline.
gag,
It's
man.
great.
I can't eat like sushi. I can't stand sushi.
Oh,
man.
I like sushi.
You know, I want to.
None of it's good for you anymore. Now you got Fukushima sushi.
Yeah.
So
it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to cook your salad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
deep fried salad.
Yeah.
Those people down south have got it all figured out. Deep fry everything. It's all good.
That's right.
It'll be fine.
Keeps your insides lubed up too, man. Keeps you all lubed up. You can't. I mean, you don't squeak. Your joints don't fucking squeak and shit because you just stay lubed up with all that fucking grease.
Just gotta change your transmission every once in a while.
That's right. I can tell you, brother. I mean, I turned 51. Right, last month I turned 51, and a couple days ago, I've hand mixed 14 bags of concrete in a wheelbarrow with a shovel.
Glutton for punishment, are you?
Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot yesterday. I did a little bit today, but yeah, yesterday was kind of rough. It was kind of rough. I did that in the morning, and yesterday afternoon I went and got some wood to try to rebuild my chicken house. Because I'm going to rebuild my chicken house, and I moved it actually into the backyard instead of being out there in the front open. But after that I was pooped, and I didn't really do a whole lot today. So I paid bills and stuff, so I did get some shit accomplished. But I mean, I can still work a lot. It's just that I run out of gas quick. I got to take a few more breaks. I don't try to get in there and whip shit out in one day anymore like I used to try to do, but I can still get her done.
Usually during the summer months, I try to mainly on the weekends, I get up really, really early and try to be outside doing whatever I'm going to do for the day at like the butt crack of dawn, and then by about 11 o'clock, I just come in the house because
but it's shit. You walk outside today, and for the next couple of days, it's supposed to get brutal fucking hot around here, man.
Is it?
Like Monday, it's supposed to be 96 mean temperature. It's supposed to be like 108. With the fucking it was like that today down south, south of here a little ways. We got a little bit of rain and wind through here today, so it kept the temperatures in the 90s. But man, it was fucking, the humidity's just off the scale right now.
It's been really humid up here this summer.
Yeah, like. 7:30 I think I started mixing that concrete yesterday at 7:30, and it was already 88 degrees.
Yeah.
So the fucking humidity's just, and I was soaking wet in 30 minutes. So
yeah,
that's
not fun.
No, it hurts. It hurts. Oh man, let's see. Can in-game see chat? Yeah, I think you can. He just posted something in there, Benny. Benny Worm said, hey.
What's up, Benny Worm?
He's Chris T from Twitter.
So, okay.
At least 4 dead in Garden Grove, California. It happened at several locations. They were all stabbed. Wow. That just happened just now? Check your Twitter feed, man.
Yeah, that happened tonight.
Did it?
Wow.
Do you think you guys could discuss Pizzagate and Epstein? We ain't got enough time.
I'm glad they got him, put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Lolita Express and
I mean, if I don't think he's going to say shit about shit just because he
I just
knows.
hope he stays alive long enough to put out some names.
I don't think he's going to say anything to anybody, man. I really don't. I think they're going to have to get all the information from what he wrote down. But I think he's dumb enough that he writes down a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Because he don't seem like the brightest candle on the fucking cake.
No, he doesn't.
But yet he was a billionaire.
Yeah, but where did he get that money? He got that money from... He was handling money for the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers.
Yeah,
That's how he got all of his money. It's all dirty fucking money. He didn't do anything legit to make himself billions. He was just moving money for them one place to another and made a little bit on the side.
Yeah.
So he's a piece of shit of a human is what he is.
I wonder how you get a job working for the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Bilderbergs.
He's probably got golden knee pads. A lot of evidence to back it up, Benny said. Yep. They got him, but there's a whole lot more and a lot bigger names. Oh yeah, there's a lot bigger names, man. That's why I said if they really got all the stuff from the flight logs and everything off of his computers at his island and out all his secret hidey places and stashy holes and whatever, he's going to take down at least 1,000 people. I
They
don't think
said
we're
they're
going to hear
interviewing
about
his
all of them.
pilots of his planes too and everything.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to hear about all of them, but
No.
we'll see some really major fucking people either suicide themselves because of it or do the perp walk. I'd love to see some people do the perp walk, man.
No,
That
they'll
would-
end up taking it. They'll get this weird illness and all of a sudden just die.
Yeah, but man, that would wake so many fucking people up. You know what I mean? If they grab like one or two just super high profile people,
Yeah.
that would wake so many people up.
I agree.
Bill would probably have a heart attack right away. And
He looks like he's about ready to die anyway. That guy looks
Yeah,
like he's
exactly.
walking death.
He just needs
Yeah.
the box to lay in the way he looks.
Yep.
if they want to get somebody, they need to bring in the Vatican and see how many people they've fucking molested.
They already know, man. That shit's
They
already been
you
out
see
there
all
for
those bones they
years,
found
dude.
Down in the bottom, they were doing that digging down there. They found in all these kids' bones and shit in there.
Yep.
That
They've
was
been doing
was
that.
mainstream media. They
Yeah.
were digging up in the Vatican looking for something. They're finding all these bones down there.
Dude, read about Boys Town here in the U.S., man. Go read about that fucking creepy place. You know? I mean, that shit happens all over the place. There's prisons down in Florida that sell the women out. Women's prisons down in Florida that sell the fucking women for sex. It's just, it happens everywhere, dude. It's just, people don't fucking say anything about it. If you do say something about it, you wind up like a lot of the people that started bitching about the Clintons. You get suicided, and then nobody pays attention to you anymore. Say the
What's
name.
really interesting to think about is that if this stuff has been going on, we're just finding out about it now, but it's been going on for decades. Realize how lucky each of us are to not have ever gone through that.
Yeah.
All those kids and all those just
Say the name Bill Cooper to somebody that's in their 40s and see if they even acknowledge who the fuck he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people in their 50s don't know who Bill Cooper is.
Well, they shot his ass.
5 steps from his door.
Yep, right by his door.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, it's horrible. Hey, man, we made it through
It
a
is.
show. We made it through a show. And now it's got me anxious to do another one because of some of the topics that we didn't get to discuss that I wanted to discuss. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Don't hold your breath, people, because there might not be one next week. There might be. There might not be. I don't know. Just play it by ear. Keep, click the bell or whatever. Subscribe. You can find me on Patreon and subscribe.
For
No.
just $2 a month.
You're not going to find me on any of those motherfuckers. I think I got a couple of names saved, like on some of the alternative media ones. I went and got Boiler Room Radio just so nobody else would have it. But no, I'm not posting videos anywhere but right here. And,
You need to work on your Sally Struthers voice.
Yeah.
Do you have a ham
just-
sandwich?
Just $2 a day.
I will admit the abused animal ones kind of get to me.
Yeah.
I can't watch them. I have to turn them off because I had nothing worse. I hate than seeing animals abused, man.
That makes me want to kill people.
Oh yeah, that would bring out the killer in me, man. Seeing someone abuse an animal.
Yep.
I'd see someone disrespect the flag and be fine with it, but I see someone abuse an animal. That's a different fucking story.
Yep. All right. Anything you guys want to say before I hang up on you?
Not really.
Well, that was
Good chatting with you.
exhilarating. Thank you. Yeah, glad you
Water's
showed up.
turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, it is. Just ask Alex
Freaking
Jones.
frog's gay.
Anybody that has the ability, go bitch at Lance, and maybe we can get him on here on the next show instead of him bitching out like he did tonight. Bitch. Yeah, just if you have the ability, Charlie, David.
It's not seeing everyone in the chat room.
Yeah, all you guys that actually decided to show up tonight and listen to me bitch a little bit more and rant and rave. And, yeah, thanks. We might see you next week. We might not. I don't know. I'm hanging up on you guys. Bye.
Oh, all right, bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay. Now that that's over with, and you can hear that shit in the background, all these fucking data channels are going crazy on the scanner tonight for whatever reason. This doesn't happen very often. Like maybe once every 2 months, because I got most of them blocked. But that's all that is. That's not static. That's data. Digital data. Going nuts. I've already blocked like 3 of them. You guys saw me walk back there. Fucking annoying. Anyway. Take care of yourselves and each other. We might see you on the next one. Love, peace, and cookies, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.